Hello and welcome to video number 7. This is me showing you the Octatrack 2 in a very basic way, assuming that you are a beginner or a near beginner. Finally, today we get to recording our own samples into the machine rather than just using samples that are on the card. So we're going to create a new project to start with today. So press project, change is already highlighted, say yes, and we're going to come right up to the top where it says create empty project. Yes, I'm going to call this project sampling 1. So hold Q and No to get rid of all these letters. Hold function and enter in the letters, and I'll speed this up. There we are, sampling 1, and we'll press yes. And there we are, it's all done. If I press project again, we have our sampling 1 project in our presets folder, our main folder. First thing I'm going to do is to make track 8 a master track. So press project, come over to control, yes, audio, yes, master track, yes, and now that's done. Come out of that and you can see there's an M there on the track 8. So track 8 is now the master track, and we've used a master track several times before, so we won't go into that at this point. Next thing I'm going to do is to turn the first 3 tracks into flex machine tracks. So track 1 it's on, so double tap the T1, press the left arrow, it's on static, come down to flex, yes, now we've got an F there. Do the same thing for tracks 2 and 3. So now you can see the first 3 tracks have an F by them, telling you that we have flex machines assigned to those tracks. Let's go back up to track 1. I'm just going to check something here. I'm going to press project. So I want system. I come up 1, come over to the right, come down to personalize, say yes, and I'm looking for record quick mode. So I've got to scroll down. Right, so that's good. Record quick mode is ticked. When we say ticked, it's got an X by it. I think in America you say checked, but if you see an X by anything on the Elektron, it means it's on. It's yes, it's working. So record quick mode is on. So we'll come out of that. What does this mean? Well, it means that when you go to record a sample, what I'm going to be doing today, you've only got to press one of these record buttons. You don't have to also hold down one of the track buttons. That obviously saves you a hand. So if you're playing guitar or something, you've got the hand free. We need to plug a sound source that will play drum sounds into inputs A and B. Well, I've already done that up here. So this is input A and B, one underneath the other, and I've got my trusty OPXY, and it's on a drum synth, the drum sampler, ready to go. Next thing I need to do is press mix, that is the mixer. Now we need to turn up the B encoder to adjust the direct input coming from any sound source. So let's just play something on here. Can't hear anything there, so let's rotate the B. And we are getting something now, that's good. Turn it up a bit more. You can hear those drum sounds coming in as I press the buttons on my OPXY. The next thing we need to do is to press project. We need to come down to control on the right hand side, come over and we come down to memory. Yes. Now what we're looking for here is dynamic recorders, and you can see it's saying no. So if I press the right arrow and make that yes, what does this mean? Well, it means that when sampling you can use as much memory as is available rather than be limited. If you say no, then obviously you've got to have segments of memory for the recordings, but here I could go on for as long as I wanted to. I'm not going to here, but it's not bad practice, I think. So I'll come out of that, that's all good. So yes. Alright, there's a lot of faffing around here. What I might do is, once I've done all this, is I might actually save this as a template, because this is going to be useful for the future, isn't it? So now press function and record 1 to go to the setup page. And here's function, here's record 1, and now we're in our recording 1 setup page, and you can see there's this tape graphic over on the right hand side, tape machine graphic. Now you can see it says in AB in CD, you might remember that I plugged the OPXY into inputs A and B. So if I rotate the B encoder, I can turn the CD off. So these two inputs, nothing plugged into those, I don't need to record them. Probably doesn't matter if that's on, but I've turned that off, that's fine. Record length is set to maximum. I'll leave that as it is for the moment. The bottom left hand box determines what happens when you press the record button to start sampling. So it's saying trig 1 at the moment. Now if I leave it like this means that when you press the record button, not this record button down here I should stress, but this record button up here, when you press that the recording will start, and if you press it again it will record over the previous recording. So that's probably not what we want here. Option 2, if I just scroll the D encoder, that says 1, 2. This means that when you press the record button, the recording will start, and when you press it again, the recording will stop. And that's the option I'm going to go for. I'll show you option 3, which is hold. So with hold on, this means that when you press the record button, the recording will start and carry on for as long as you hold the button down. So you've obviously got to keep holding the record button down, which is obviously not very convenient. So I'm going to rotate the D encoder back to 1, 2, and I'm going to come to the loop on bottom right, so that's the F encoder, and I'm going to turn that off. I don't need the loop on for this. I think source 3 main means that you're actually recording the output of the Octatrack, so I think I'll turn that off as well. And so you can record the Q out, the main out, various tracks. I'm going to bring it down to the dash, which means that's off. Now I've got my drum sounds here, and I'm going to record these into the Octatrack. Just to be clear, this is not a musical performance. I'm just recording one sound after the other. I'll slice these up for use on the tracks. Just leave a reasonable gap between each one. So when I press Rec 1, the A-B lights will flash and the tape graphic in the display will be animated, and then I press record 1 again to stop the recording. So we've got our recording done there. Now we've stopped the recording. Now this new recording is in recording 1, so we mustn't turn the Octatrack off, otherwise we'll lose this because this doesn't get automatically saved. So let's save the project, function and project, save project, yes. If I press AED, you can see recording 1 buffer is showing up. If I double tap the track 1, you can see the various recording buffers. Scroll up to recording 1 and you'll see the size is different now. It's 4.18, so obviously something's happened in that recording buffer. Basically this recording buffer is assigned to track 1 by default. You can change that, but you might just as well leave that. Supposing I'm down here and I go to AED, you see there's nothing there, and that's because that's empty. So go back to that again, come up to recording 1, AED, and now you can see the samples. If you want to zoom those up a bit, see with the D encoder you can see the samples a bit clearer. See, they're quite short samples as you can see. So if I press function and yes, you'll hear all those little slices. Kick drum, snare drum, rim shot, hi-hat, closed and open, and I think that's another snare drum. And you saw the playhead move across the sample. Against the white background you'll see the black sample. Now if I go to FX1 for a moment, this is the attributes page and it's saying plus 12 dB, so it's quite loud at the moment. If we feel like that's too loud, I can turn that down. Loop mode is off, time stretch is on, it's saying normal, so I need to come down to that and press the left arrow to make the time stretch off, because we don't want to time stretch this because these are little slices. We don't need them time stretched. I'm going to press the FX2 button. This is where we're going to save our sample, because at the moment it's in a recording buffer. We want to actually save it to the compact flash card so we can use it in the future. So this is the file menu, and we're going to come down to save and assign sample. So there we are, press yes, and we've got to give it a name. So we'll do the usual thing, hold Q and no, get rid of all those, and we'll call this OPXY drums. Again, I'll speed this up. There we go, OPXY drums, press yes. So we've now got a sample with its name. Now we've got some choices. If we go for assign to self, I think it just puts it back in that buffer with the new name. So we don't want that. Let's assign it to a free flex slot. So this is a flex machine slot that we can use on any flex machines in any tracks in the future. So we'll say yes. Now if I double tap track 1 and scroll down, you can see the first free slot was number 1 and it's in there. If I press function and yes, you can hear those slices are in there, which is good. Let's press no, come back to the main page. So it's a bit slow this, I know, I'm taking it very slowly so that you understand it. The next job is to slice the sample up. So we're on T1, we know that because it's red, and we're going to press AED. Going to press amp, which is slice. The first thing to do is to use the D encoder just to bring those samples up so we can see them a bit better. And I'm going to zoom in a bit more with the F encoder, so we've got a bit more room in between those little slots. Now the level encoder is used to move the cursor, so you can see I'm going to move right up to the front of that first sound, which is the kick drum. I'm going to zoom in a bit more with the F. Now you can see it's not quite there. If I zoom right in, level encoder again, should be right on it now. Now I can check if I'm in the right place by holding function and yes. That sounds perfect. So we're happy with our slice. I'm going to hold function and bank, and it says add slice here. So this is where our first slice is going to be. So as usual, we're going to press yes. Added slice. Now you can see the slice is black on white. Now you see S is start, E is end. Now if I press function and yes, it's very short. We use the C encoder to bring the end point right to the end of the sample. And I'm going to bring that back a little bit. We've now made it our first slice. Now if I rotate the level encoder, you see if I enter the area of that first slice I've made, it goes black on white, come out, and that's reversed. So now we're looking for our next slice. It's quite a long way along. Where is it? We zoomed in a long way here, so there we are. Let's see if we've got that right. Function and yes. It's pretty good. Let's zoom in a bit more. I'm actually a little bit into the sample. I'm going to come back with the level encoder. Let's try that. That sounds fine, and I'm going to make that slice there. So function and bank, add slice here, yes. So we've now got two slices. I'm going to extend that so the E is there. Function and yes is always your best friend to check your slice. Now going to move along and see what else we've got. So level encoder, find the next slice, and it's a long way along, isn't it? Goodness me. Right, what's this one? That sounds right. Let's zoom in a bit more. Not quite there, is it? You can see it's to the left a bit. Yes. Function and bank. Add slice here. Yes. Extend the end. That's good. Level control to find the next slice. I'm very zoomed in here, aren't I? Let's zoom back a bit. Must be another one here somewhere. There we are, it's a little one here. It's probably the hi-hat. Yeah, we're a bit into it, aren't we? Function and bank. Add slice here, yes. extend the end. I'm going to ignore the next one because I don't want the open hi-hat. So I think that's the, yeah, I don't want that one. I'm going to go for the next one, which I think is a rim shot. Oh, actually it's another snare. That's fine. Let's zoom in a bit. Not quite there, is it? There. That's fine. So function and bank, add slice here, yes. Right, so now if I use the left arrow, you'll see slice 5, that's the one we've just done, slice 4, slice 3, slice 2, slice 1. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slices. No more slices. When you get to the end and you've run out, it says no more slices. Let's save function project. Yes. Takes a long while first time you do this, but obviously when you get used to it, it's a lot quicker. Now we're going to press FX2, okay, and scroll to Save Sample Settings. Yes. We want to preserve everything we've done, so we're going to overwrite what we've just done. A settings file already exists for this sample. Overwrite, yes. That's done. Right, next thing to do is to assign those slices to the pads along the bottom of the Octatrack. Double tap the source button, the one that's highlighted, and rotate encoder B so it says slice on. Now this is a bit hard to see. I'll use my pencil here. This is a slot switch. The black is on the left. That means it's off at the moment. So if I rotate the B encoder, and it's now saying on. It was saying off. Now the black has moved to the right and the slice is on. Go back to the main page. No. There we go. We're on the main page again. Now we're going to hold the function and the up arrow like this, and we want not tracks or any of these. What we want is slices. Now these 5 pads are now lit up. If I play those pads, you'll hear those 5 slices. Notice when you play these pads how these tiny little dots flash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see this slices icon graphic down here, which is a piece of tape sliced in two. Also, if you look at this row here, you'll see where the slice was in the original sample. So slice 1 is at the beginning, slice 2 is further in, slice 5, so it's quite a long way in. And also you'll see F up here go from a square to a play button every time I play a slice on this flex machine in track 1. All these slices are in track 1, so they will choke each other off. And by that I mean if one's playing and then another one comes in the sequence, it will stop the previous one playing. That won't be a problem here because these are all short little drum sounds. So we're going to enter these sounds in by step recording. So we're going to press function and pattern, like that. Now we're going to scroll to pat, which is on in the first column, and in the second column turn the normal mode off. So we're going to come down to per track, and I'm going to press the right arrow. Now we're going to have the per track mode on. Press function and page, so bottom right hand corner, and at the moment it's set for 1 bar, 16 out of 16, which is 16 semi-quavers or 1 bar. I'm going to make this 64 out of 64, that's a 4 bar pattern. Okay, back to the main page with no. Now I'm going to set the metronome, function and mix. metronome is on. Function and mix toggles the metronome off and on, see? Let's turn it off just for the moment. I'm going to hold project. I'm on control, I'm on memory, just got to come down one to metronome, yes. Now it's saying off at the moment because I've turned it off by holding function mix. Watch. Now you see it's got the X, it's on. Going to scroll down. Pre-roll is off. I'm going to press the right arrow to turn that on to 1 bar. Q volume doesn't matter. Main volume does. It's 0, so it won't sound at all at the moment. So I'm going to rotate the level encoder, bring that up. I can also change the volume with the yes control and the right arrow. So there's 3 ways of doing that. The level control, the right arrow or the left arrow, and the yes button turns the volume up. Tonal, we'll leave it as it is because the other tone is not very pleasant. So now we've got a nice metronome sound. Going to press no to come out of that, back to the main page. So function and mix, metronome off, metronome on. Let's change the tempo by pressing tap tempo. We'll bring this down to 90, like that. Now when I press the record button, this button here, the lights go out. I'm going to press the tap tempo button to make that go out. Now you can see up here that it says SL1, slice 1, which is fine. That's what we want. We want the kick drum. If I rotate B, you'll see it will go through the various slices. See, we've only got 5, but it will go beyond that. But SL1 is what we want, slice 1. Press the first pad, the kick drum will be assigned to that pad. So if I play the sequence by pressing play, you can hear that the metronome's going and I've got that kick drum on that first pad. Let's turn the metronome off for a minute, function and mix. Press play again. So now I'm going to press pad 5, pad 9 and pad 13. So I've got my 4 on the floor kick drum. Brilliant. Now I'm going to just turn 5 and 13 off, so I'm going to lose those, press those again. So now I've only got the kick drum on 1 and 9. Okay, now I'm going to press trig 5 down. I'm going to rotate the B encoder till it says SL2 and the same thing on 13. Now I've got kick drum, snare drum, kick drum, snare drum. Now you can copy and paste trigs to pads and you can press pads to delete them. Let's just delete 9 and 13. Okay, press and hold pad 1 and press the record button and then press and hold pad 9 and press the stop, which is the paste button. So there we go, pad 1, record, copy trig 1, okay, now pad 9, paste, and now those two will be the same, and I'll do the same thing with 5 and 13. So 5, copy, 13, paste. Right, the source is in focus. Let's change the pitch of the snare on pad 13. So this one here, you can see pitch is top left, so it's the A encoder. Let's have it playing so we hear what we're doing. So the first snare is normal pitch and the second one is higher pitched. If you want to make global changes to your track, press the record button so the light goes out and you see your first 5 pads light up. There they are again. Run the sequence, make changes to the pitch with the A encoder and you will hear that all pad sounds will have different pitches except the snare 13, which had that pitch parameter locked. But come out of this, that one has got a parameter lock, but all these don't, you see. Nothing changes in the display, only when I press 13 because that pitch is parameter locked to that trig, to that pad. If you want to reset any parameter, simply hold function and rotate the appropriate encoder. So, I don't think I can do this, but I might be able to, I suppose. Yes. So I've reset the pitch on that. by holding the pad, holding function and just tweaking the encoder. So I'm going to copy track 1 to track 2. So I'm on track 1, copy track 2, paste track. And we'll do the same thing for track 3, paste track. So now all 3 tracks are the same. We're going to edit track 2 now. Now you see if I play track 2, I've got those bass drums. Let's turn those off. So we're going to put a snare on 5 and 13. At the moment, 5 and 13 are going to play kick drums. So hold 5, move encoder B, so I've got slice 2 and slice 2 there now. Now because I've copied that to track 2, I'm able to have 4 kick drums on track 1 and 2 snares on track 2. Let's record the hi-hats in real time along with the track we've already got going. So go to track 3, let's just turn these off because they're going to play the kick drums at the moment, and I want the metronome on. There we go. Press the record button so it goes out. I know my hi-hat is on 4, so if I press record and then play, I'm going to get a 4 beat count in, and then I'm going to play that pad 4 in time. So we've got our 3 tracks, track 1 kick drum, track 2 snare drum, track 3 hi-hat. Play that through. Let's add some reverb to the snare drum track. So track 2, FX2, it's on delay at the moment. Double tap, scroll to plate reverb, yes. Now that's the setup page. Go to the other page by pressing FX2 again. Set the sequencer in motion. Turn the mix up. Turn the time up. Got a proper 80s snare drum there. Press save, function, project, yes. So now our sampling 1 project is coming along. It's taken us an awful long time just to record a kick drum, a snare drum and some hi-hats and put some reverb on the snare, but we need to take it slowly at first to make sure that we understand what we're doing. Thank you very much for watching, and you'll see me in my next video.